Buenas noches familia, Buitiguyo. Feliz Año Nuevo, Happy New Year. Hola que lo pasaron bien con su familia. La Navidad y el Año Nuevo. Hey Ellen, Happy New Year's, Merry Christmas. This is the first live of the new year. Hermano Jorge, Cafilbo. Este es mi first live del Año Nuevo. Feliz Año Nuevo. Feliz Navidad. What's up, Joseph, Edson? It's the new live. Well, the first live of the new year. A lot of things to talk about. Ibidi kate lo wayeno ani. Luma ibidi Trevor. Nago ba yin lo debi wama lo wadume ha. I get the new Jorge Chávez, tambor negro para el mundo. Jean-Francois, greetings. Ayabuiti nasu ni ama familia ama ye umadago. Buiti nasi gani. Gado Núñez, buenas noches. Buiti Guyo. Mejía Evelyn. Buenas noches, Buiti Guyo. Guaguía Radio, Buiti Guyo. Nosotros aquí siempre hablando de la comunidad. No solo presentamos los problemas, ¿no? Presentamos las soluciones también. Vamos son kate los problemas la lo viven y la que que resolver mani kate wamago. So, estoy esperando el hermano Trevor para que entre con nosotros. Merly Peralta, buenas noches. Ana Lu Núñez, buenas noches. Buitigoyo. Para que nosotros hablamos. Hey Donna, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Hope you and the family are well. Hey Barbie, Happy New Year. Hope the family is well. Brother Joseph. Buitiguyo, Mabruiga. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to you too. So we're waiting on Brother Trevor to come on, and we're gonna talk. We're gonna have like a year review. We're gonna. There's certain things that we have to cover that I had issues getting on live. Doña Aura, Buitiguyo. Feliz Año Nuevo. Tenemos mucho que platicar aquí, Betty Lu, Wadumani. Está teniendo problemas técnicos y en live. Pero ojalá esos problemas ya se han corregido. Yo hice unas cosas para el teléfono. So ahora debemos de estar bien para seguir la conversación. Thank you, Barbie. Miss Lopez. Juan Máximo, buenas noches. So yeah, we're about to get on. Ya vamos a practicar, abrir la charla. Mucho está pasando en el mundo, pero nosotros vamos a enfocar en la comunidad garífuna. Yo sé que todo el mundo está viendo todo lo que está pasando con R. Kelly, está pasando en Francia. No que eso no importa, pero nosotros tenemos muchas cosas pasando en nuestra comunidad también. Que nosotros tenemos que prestarle atención. Una cosa de nosotros, si nos pasa algo a una persona garífuna, es problema de Joseph, es problema de Juan Máximo, Luther, Harry, Barbie, Donna. Nosotros somos una comunidad. El problema de Aura, Abdul, Merly, Guaguía, Rayo. El problema es comunal. Nosotros somos una comunidad. So, un problema que le pasa a Pablo Blanco o Ochoa Palacio es problema de la comunidad, porque la comunidad debe de estar ahí al lado de nosotros cuando nos pasas un suceso. Así como debemos de pensar en 2019, porque muchas cosas nos está pasando a nosotros como comunidad y nosotros, yo no quiero decir que no nos importa, pero nosotros no queremos involucrar. We don't want to get involved. 2019, hey Vince, Happy New Year. Bodoma Ibiri, Buitiguyo. 2019, we have to change that. We have to become more involved within our community. If something happens to Pablo Blanco, it's Bodoma's problem, it's Vince's problem, it's Irma's problem, it's Joseph's problem, it's Luther's problem, and vice versa. I mean, we must have in the mindset that we are a community. We have to support each other. We have to sort of be on code. We're not an island. We're a community. There's a difference. We're too much of a vulnerable community not to support each other, especially in Honduras. I always said it. We are at war in Honduras, philosophically, psychologically, we in a very idealistic war in Honduras as well. So we have to talk about these things. Buitiguño, Augusto Guerrero. So let me see if I could bring in Brother Trevor. So we could get this conversation going. We have to, our cultural philosophy, Aura Buni Amuru Nuni, we have to really analyze that from a critical perspective. La filosofía cultural de nosotros, Aura Buni Amuru Nuni, tenemos que ver ese concepto muy crítico en como nosotros lo vemos. Tenemos que analizarlo de una forma muy crítica. Saludos, hermano Roche, Buitiguño, feliz año nuevo. Ahora que usted y su familia pasaron las navidades bien, con mucha salud, mucho amor. Veo, hey Wesley, sac passe. This is my weekly live, Wesley. And I talk about issues that affects the Garifuna community. And today we have a talk about what we're going to look forward to in 2019. I know there's a lot of things going on now in Haiti, a lot of political issues. We have the same issues in my community as well. I have a lot of ideological differences. What benefits us, what doesn't benefit us. We have to have that conversation as a community. So I'm trying to add Trevor now. I'm good, Joshua. How you feeling? Hope everything's good with you and family. Hope you guys had a good Christmas and holiday. Ibrik, Pacheco, man.
Oye, Pacheco, mabuhay na yun, iba man.
Igor.
Abayisi ni Brawa.
Abayisi ni man.
Yeah, man. Abayisi ni Hong Sungu, but yeah.
Give it Tikate Asagit. We should probably do a year in review. And then go towards, and then talk about in 2019.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
I think.
You know, we want to first.
Yeah, you just broke.
I just want to welcome everyone who is here. Yeah, I want to welcome the people that are currently here right now, watching the live. You know.
Okay.
Thankful to each one of you that you're tuning in. Are we breaking out?
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Go ahead, man. Carry on, man. I'm actually.
Yeah. I know everybody got a cold, man. Everybody has a cold. Man.
It's been a lot. Yeah.
But yeah, Mabruiga.
So this is Mabruiga Garinagu. Mabruiga Garinagu is.
Mabruiga Garinagu, New York, Pablo Blanco, Niederberg.
Mabruiga Garinagu, Trevor Palacio, New York, California.
So Trevor, we made a lot of inroads in 2018. I mean, we've seen a lot of things that's president, such as Baba Click getting out of prison in September.
Right.
That is that is news. That is big news. Is worthy to mention. And then, you know, we had a chance to have him join us. Yeah, we had a chance to have him join us in Chicago in November.
And what's funny is when the symposium, every year we have a symposium. This year is going to be in Los Angeles, November 8th and 9th in Los Angeles. First one was in Houston, Texas, November 3rd and 4th. And then this year we had one in Chicago, November 9th and 10th. We were hosted by Rodel Castillo, Caribbean and Flavor. And as you were saying, you know, Baba Claire was there. What's funny is when we planned the symposium, the Garifuna Consortium is focused on multiple things, and I'm not going to go up from voter registration and education down to immigration and human rights. So under the discussion of human rights, the case of Baba Claire is the case that we followed, okay? So a month and a half before the symposium, the plan was to talk about Baba Claire being in prison, okay? But by the time the symposium happened, Baba Claire was at the symposium. You know, and I'm saying that to say that God is with us, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not coming from a religious perspective. I'm coming from a spiritual perspective. Na yanu hongiga kay hamuga tida ge nuwani. Mama lida ge religion le offer the hube won le diga religion le give with the wow a bidia guard won with kay garinu. You know, so they nego ke yen la Baba Claire de Gilbuga a Chicago Woman Leader Symposium. Aba hati lubare gen fuisu wenye wugile E masami no to yebe ke yembe la lida symposium wayano ho ba yebe logo babakle. Pablo wayano ho ba yebe logo. Pero le chilu da de wachilu be Chicago ni ha babakle ile nego way ni ha bungi woman. You know, hafuru ye wo yunugu garabali logo soon le with digubay. You know, so just bringing up Baba Claire brings that to mind that my God, Baba Claire, and salute to Baba Claire, and salute to Sandy Swasso, his wife. You know, women, you're the best, Pablo.
Well, the thing is that they're a unit, and the way they handle this whole ordeal, it's commendable. I mean, we gotta acknowledge them. We gotta acknowledge them as a couple, as a
Without a doubt.
family.
Salute.
I mean, we don't even know how the children
No.
handle this. Like, how do
As
you
an
explain to
example.
your child that your father is in jail in another country? Like, we could, we got to understand that there's a psychology that comes with that. Not seeing your father for 26 months, and her, and Sammy holding them down, motivating them, taking them to school and, doing whatever she needs to while he's in prison.
Right.
That is very commendable. I mean, that's very honorable.
Sandy Swasso, Barauda, Sandy Swasso, Barauda, man. So, irumule kama wudiga man, give it ilung, give it gili ebugu tilida Garifuna dual, San Juan, Uguele, Hagendu, Luagu Hamuga, Luagu Hamua, Trompu, Hagendu, Memi, Logu Mua, Yahilu Mutibodi, Odura, Wagendu, Logu. Belisi, Uatiere, Hon Garinagu, Wahan Yang, Somos Maestros, Clyde Williams, the first Garifuna commissioner in Belize, just became a commissioner in Belize. Clyde Williams, Garifuna, salute. That's what's going on in Belize. But we have some. The commissioner is the chief of police. There's the chief of police, and the chief of police has a boss. His boss is the commissioner. Okay. The Garifuna person is this commissioner. You know what I'm saying? So Robert Mariano was the chief of police at once upon a time, and that was a great feat for a Garifuna person. But now he did that for quite some time. And salute Robert Mariano with Habafu Garifuna, Habafu Garinagu on Sundays. He comes live. Shout out to you. So that's Belize. In Nicaragua, they're hungry for the language. They're hungry for the culture, Pablo. But we don't have the resources to help Griega Sambola, who is the president of the Garifuna organization there, a brother Vernan Ramos, who is the secretary, Sister Bernadine Lopez, one of the advisors, and Mrs. Kizzy Lopez, one of the advisors there in Nicaragua. So they're trying to bring the culture back. In St. Vincent, you could speak a little bit more on that. Guatemala, the lights go out every day. They're trying to figure out how they're going to drink clean water on a consistent basis as if they're in some third world country. Okay, so that's what's going on in Guatemala. We have I've mentioned Belize, I've mentioned Honduras, I've mentioned Nicaragua, I've mentioned Guatemala, and the last country, Urume. They hunger and they're thirsty for the language and the culture as well. But Pablo, you were there. Did you see any sign of Garifuna Dual in St. Vincent?
I seen pockets of it.
Other than the statue of Chateauneuf?
Well, it's not even a statue. It's an obelisk. It's like a tall figure, and I think it was on Chateau Belair, looking down on Kingstown. It wasn't even a statue of him. I understand there's a museum there in Fort Charlotte. I didn't get a chance to go there. They have a museum that they have artifacts of Garifuna people there, like paintings and some other things. And they have the cannons that are painted in. I didn't get a chance to go there. I just seen that in a YouTube video. I wanted to go there, but that wasn't part of the tour that I was a part of. But yes,
Okay.
I did at Peace Memorial Theater. It's a theater in Kingstown, and there are persons that are hungry for the culture as well. They want to learn more. They
Right.
want to learn more because the government
Yeah.
just totally kept that history away from them.
Yeah. And not
So
only
this
that
year, I
history away
mean,
from them, but economic growth too, man. There are no jobs in. There's about 9 Garifuna communities. They have no jobs
well, there's
in those
not.
areas.
That's just not in the Garifuna.
So not
That's
only
not.
did they,
But that's definitely
no,
the
okay,
same narrative in
across the board,
Honduras.
same
Yeah,
thing there.
exactly.
Same thing there.
So the thing is,
Belize
I
a
mean,
little bit better. Uh,
the like our experience in these developed countries, or Latin American and Caribbean countries. That's how our experience is. I mean, we're basically like in a
right,
permanent
right,
underclass. Now, how do we move out of that underclass?
right,
That's up to us. I mean,
right.
that these are the type of conversations that we're
That's
supposed to,
okay, and be having.
right? How do
Right.
we get
Those
ourselves
that
as a
that's what
community?
and that's what right.
Yeah, as a community, how do we
Because
get
we
out
have
of it?
enough problems, man, and talking about the problems enough of that. Right.
Right, right. I mean, we got to look into solutions to the
So
problems. We already
uh
know the problem.
and well there are solutions. The symposium, you know what I'm saying? Is an example of that. You know, Habafu Irahanyin, what Dechana Zoo is doing with the youth in Los Angeles, where, they're focused on education and they're focused on culture. You know what I'm saying? We have Lisanigu Bodoma,
Right.
culture band right there in New York City. You know what I'm saying? That's keeping the culture alive from the bottom up, from the babies up. Seattle, Washington, Wilbur Guerrero and Joel and Connor, they're teaching the youth technology. You know what I'm saying? So with a little bit of this, and look at us right now. This is called Mabruiga Garinagu. We are utilizing free media, social media, creating a media system out of it. Thank you, Facebook, and reaching out to our family members throughout the Garifuna diaspora. Miriam Miranda said in 2015, you were there at Columbia University. She said, form a red system, a media system where Garifuna people can communicate. Nation Building 101 says, if you can't communicate, you can't reestablish a nation, or you can't keep a nation going. So Pablo, everything that I just mentioned, that's doing something. What's going to happen in April 2019 in Washington, D.C.? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, there's a representative, a congressman that's invited the community
Mm-hmm.
to read the community and its accomplishment in Chicago and in North America.
Right.
So that's what's gonna happen. But going into, going a little bit deeper, like in this country, Trevor, I mean, we have so many resources at within our disposal. Um, I don't think our community understand how these resources work and accessing them and making them work for us and our community back home.
No, but that's my point. It's up to us to make sure with the things that we're doing. It's up to us to make sure that our community know these things, man. The individual is an individual. The collective body called Garinagu. There is no one thinking about the Garinagu body. Okay, it's just individual Garifuna people thinking about the Garifuna self, which is all good, you know, because everything starts at home. But we're doing it, you know what I'm saying? And it has to be us who do it, since we know that there are resources out there that are available to our communities. If you don't educate the community, Pablo, who's going to educate them? I mean, right now, they're not, I would say we're not that educated as a people. And I could look at our current conditions anywhere we go and circumstances to prove that.
Right. Now, we have to ask the question: how did it get like that? How did things get to that particular
I mean,
point?
the exile.
Something that I personally don't think we ever
I don't know
recovered
if that's. I don't know if that's a rhetorical question. You know, how did it get like that? 1797, the exile. We haven't recovered from that, Pablo. You and I, we talk intimately about the psychological effects of travel from St. Vincent to Balisol, being abandoned there for a little bit, a good portion of people dying. You and I have the discussion of having to bury your child. You and I have the discussion of having to bury your father. You and I had the discussion of having to bury your mother, or having to bury your child, your grandmother, your father. You understand what I'm saying? We haven't recovered from that, and we've never been at a point. And I say the Belizeans are the most educated ones amongst us because of where they're at. But we have not recovered from it because no one is going to make us recover from it. The only ones that are going to make this recovery come to pass is us. It's us. You know what I'm saying? And again, I believe in my heart, Pablo. And this is why the people that are watching right now, we need you, man. I mean, we need you to be watching. We need you to follow what Pablo and myself are doing. And anyone that is doing something positive, please. But we need you to follow. Because, Pablo, in them following, they're going to see that we are creating a means to recover, to heal psychologically, because now we have Garifuna students that are psychologists, right? Doctors in all kinds of different fields. These are the people that need to come back and heal the community, Pablo.
Well, here's the thing. I want to go back to your commentary in regards to us being a community. And before you came on, I was talking to the audience, and I was telling them, when something happened to Pablo Blanco, that's Trevor's problem. That's Joseph Flores' problem. That's Joseph Guerrero's problem.
Yeah.
That's Rene Nunez's problem. I mean, it's the whole community's problem. It's not an individual problem.
Yeah.
And we got to go back to that. I mean, this Nuni, our cultural philosophy tells us a lot about how we should be looking at each other. I mean, I don't know if you've been following the news about this 7-year-old girl being shot in Houston. Jasmine, I forget her name.
Jasmine Barnes. Jasmine Barnes.
Yes, rest in peace to her. I mean, we had incidents in the community in which the police executed us as well. Fermin Nassau is one. There's another brother, and he was from Garifuna, from Guatemala, over here on 42nd Street. He was executed by the cops.
Right.
Like, I mean, we're too much of a vulnerable community for persons not to be engaged.
Yeah, but let's backtrack a little bit on what you touched up on. You said that what happens to Pablo is happening to Trevor, right? That's a conversation. Okay, that's a conversation that needs to be had. The 15, 18, 20 people, the 30 people that are watching us right now.
And thank you for sharing. Everybody that's sharing, thank you for that.
Right. We thank you. We thank you, because it can't happen without you. But you and I need to understand, and I want you to take this literally. Take this literally. We are one. Okay? When I'm gonna prove to you how you and I are one. Next time you hear the drums, tell me what happens to your spirit. Next time you hear the Garifuna drums,
Man, not even the drums. Remember,
the conch.
No, not even that. Even lyrics to certain songs. Remember we were interviewing the sister in Chicago.
Oh my God, the way she did Nana out of Chicago.
Exactly. It's just
the
certain
pain in her voice
that trigger an emotion in everyone. That's Garifuna.
And there are people right here, right now that are watching this. You feeling that thing. Some of you probably have goosebumps right now. And because it's just resonating to who we are. We are one. Now, why are we discussing and mentioning the fact that we are one, Pablo? It means we need to act as one. We need to be as one. We need to coordinate ourselves as one if we're going to progress, because we care about each other and we want the best for each other, right? But unless we organize ourselves and operate as one, Pablo, it's going to be us. But again, I say it's happening. It's happening. You know what I'm saying? It is happening. I believe it. It is happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be a conversation that my generation and your generation should be having. Because, you know, as I look at America, right, like a lot of the rich people in America, from a structural standpoint, the rich people have generational wealth passed down to them. Like, for instance, our president, I hate to say that, but his father gave him $200,000 every year since he was 3. So, and I look at this in the broader context of us arriving to this country without anything. Like my parents, they came here without anything. They just came here for. They made sure that I got educated, and you know, and I pushed the envelope. You know, I keep the name high, as my grandmother told me when she was over here, over the Christmas season, and I see a certain level of dysfunction in the community, but I see a lot of progress in the community too. We have some women that are actually going on the entrepreneurial track, and they're doing pretty well for themselves. That just arrived to this country. They don't even have a lot of years here.
A lot of Garifuna people are simply entrepreneurs, man. You understand what I'm saying? You know, Pablo, 2019, if we could just not talk about the problems, right? Because we all already know the problems, right? If we could begin to talk about things are getting better and letting people know that they are, because they are. You know what I'm saying? And also letting them know that we need them to be involved in order for things to get even better.
Right. Because I could see it happening in Honduras and all the territories in which we reside in. As a community, I don't think we have created a mechanism to counter our environment, our living environment. And part of the problem is that we don't have resources or enough resources to live in this current environment, or we don't understand how to acquire them. So that's something that we have to work on. But I see a lot of persons in the community that are already doing it, either through the traditional way of education or through entrepreneurship. And we got to encourage that. We have to set up a network for them to talk to each other as well, like a support group of why they doing this. I mean, we have to just give them some sort of framework. I mean, as you said, our ancestors were entrepreneurs, and they lived a very prosperous lifestyle back in the 1700s. I have to remind people that Garinagu were millionaires in the 1700s. We have to acknowledge that. I mean, we were one of the African-based communities that were millionaires in that time period. Like the way I look at things.
No, I mean, come on, we had our own commerce.
Yeah, exactly. We survived the agrarian, the industrial revolution, and now we're in the information age. I mean, we just got to see things from that perspective, that we are living in this information age, and how are we as a community going to navigate in the information age without losing our culture.
Right. Right. We don't have to, as long as we strategically approach it that way, that we're going to navigate into the information age and not lose our culture. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's going to be hard for us to lose our culture again because Garifuna Droid is in us.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? You bleed, you bleed Garifuna. Asanya hatibu Garifuna hiwa. Mama hamuga busia gaba Garifuna ba. Sabusi mi se he se bo Garifuna buguya. You know what I'm saying? So I want to introduce to the conversation the International Garifuna Council. As we're talking about solutions that we're working on. The International Garifuna Council is going to have a delegation to start with of 112 people, 22 from Honduras, 18 from Nicaragua, 18 from Belize, 18 from Guatemala, 18 from St. Vincent, and representatives, half of each one of those, like 22 from Honduras, will be in the United States. So 11 will be in the United States representing Honduras in interest. Now, delegates for Honduras will grow because there are 46 Garifuna communities in Honduras. Okay, there are 46 Garifuna communities. So we're going to gather more delegates as we go, but we're going to start with 112. And why are we doing this? We are in the process of forming a Garifuna government. Okay, a government that is going to look out for the interests for the entire Garifuna body, for everyone, regardless of where you're at. You will be protected and you will be secured under the name International Garifuna Council. We're going to issue Garifuna IDs. We're just going through a process of organizing ourselves and figuring out exactly how things are going to work out. And Brother Pablo Blanco is the secretary on this International Garifuna Council for the country of Honduras. So our phone number right now is, let me share that with you, is 740-312-1797. That's 740-312-1797. 740-312-1797 to get more information on anything that we're currently doing, particularly the International Garifuna Council and the Garifuna Consortium. And we're focused on education, voter education and registration, healthcare, Garifuna unity, immigration rights, human rights, Garifuna youth. Pablo, Garifuna youth. I can't express that enough. That's why I'm so excited about Lisani Gubodoma. You know what I'm saying? The Garifuna youth. That is one of the focal points of the International Garifuna Council and the Garifuna 2020 Consortium. So follow up with us whenever you can or want to. We need you. Right now, we need volunteers. Pablo, I don't know if you know any teachers. In Honduras right now, in San Juan, we're working on a project, and we need your support. The contact person is going to be Leti Guerrero. We're going to build a store in San Juan. Okay. Now we're just going to start in San Juan, and in San Juan, whatever we learn, we're going to start doing it in all of the Garifuna communities in Honduras. Okay. Now, there's more to it. Call and find out more. But the store is going to serve the community. In other words, that store is going to be owned. It's going to be half thrift store, and it's going to be half cultural center, right? And a portion of it is going to be like a market where people can sell goods, and it's going to be like a grocery store. So it's going to be broken down into that. Now, it's going to create Garifuna jobs immediately, okay, from the building of these huts. I mean, from the building of the buildings that we're going to make it out of raw material that are available right there in San Juan. We just have to pay for the labor of the Garifuna men. And again, that's why we need the people that are listening to contact myself, and we'll reach out to Letty because we need to raise some funds to make it happen. It's going to create jobs for those men immediately, and it's going to create jobs for those who's going to be working the market. And the place belongs to San Juan. Okay, so the money that is being generated is going to go back to San Juan, and anything that San Juan needs, such as street lights or anything, you know what I'm saying, is going to go back to that community. And it's also going to help the patronato in the community by providing him with a job that actually going to pay him, Pablo, because the patronatos are not paid.
Yeah, they volunteer.
Now, I'm not saying because they're community board. And Pablo, I don't want to make a mistake because I said this to someone in Honduras and they were disappointed. They're like, well, people got to get paid. We got to do this from our heart. And Pablo, when I fly from place to place, the other day you flew to Chicago. Did we pay for your flight?
No, I did that for my own because, well, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I pay my own ticket, because I mean,
Right.
that we're on, it hasn't been done on this level. So at some point, well, for now, in our pockets to get things done before things take shape.
We have to. We have to. Not only our pockets, though, Pablo, our talent.
Right.
Because look at you. Not only did you pay for your flight, but what you bring to the table is we have a historian. We have a raw Garifuna historian in our midst. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just not the funds that you might break off, though. It's your time and the talent that you bring with that time.
Well, there was other admirable people at the symposium. I mean, the list is just so long. I mean, we have so many talented.
Ingrid Gamboa.
Yeah, that's
Guatemala. Ingrid Gamboa.
Special. Yeah, that's a special.
What was your experience with Ingrid Gamboa?
Oh,
what was your experience with Ingrid Gamboa, Guatemala? What was your experience?
She made me feel at home. She made me feel at home.
Yeah.
She really did. I mean,
yeah.
She was Garifuna Dual. I mean, she knows the tenants. I mean, she is a great resource. And learning about Guatemala and what they're going
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I learned in conversing with her at the symposium, I learned so much with her.
Yeah.
But we have
Sandra Miranda Belize.
Sandra
Miranda from Belize. She was there. What was your experience with her?
Oh man, she was down to earth. I mean, she gave me a lot of insight in regards to Belize. A lot of things that I didn't know before.
Right. Yeah. Versus the hearsay.
Yes, exactly. I mean, we have a lot of work to do. As a community. A lot of things has to be initiated by the woman, because usually we come from a traditionally matrilineal society, right? And I see that happen. I see how women organize changed, man. Here in New York.
Right.
Different women are the most organized.
It's always been the women, man.
Yeah, and in the history of Garifuna, the women have always been organized. I mean, we, the men, have just supported them.
Yeah, no, but when the man steps up
to meet the woman where she's at, then we are elevated to another level.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? When the man steps up to his proper place of, you know, and you know, this is no sexist bullshit right here, because I know we have a couple of feminists that are watching, and I'm not into that whole feminism thing. I'm speaking about the 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 process and the way things actually are and the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? Men are men for a reason, women are women for a reason. And I want to be the first one to say that I honor my Garifuna woman. You know what I'm saying? Because when I think back historically, I remember Garifuna men, but I have a long list of Garifuna women who have always impacted me to date. Long list to date. You know what I'm saying? It's always been women who took the time. Like I said, my grandmother taught me compassion, bro. She taught me compassion. You know what I'm saying? And compassion, man, is priceless. You know? So I uplift the Garifuna women. But I also want to say to the men that if we step up to our place and meet the women where they at and not be machismo, you know, beating on our women. There was a conversation about some dude beating on a Garifuna woman in Belize the other day, and this happens to our women all over the world, all over our countries. That shit needs to stop, man. That needs to stop. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that's the Garifuna way. You know, even though I saw that in my household, but I don't believe that to be the Garifuna way. You know, I uplift our women. But if we step up to where we need to be as men and be leaders in our household, I said all of that to say that. Okay? Because I want people to understand that I respect and I value women, Pablo. You know, I'm not a misogynist, you know, but men need to step up to the place of leadership and be the men of our household because the women are already the women of our household. They doing their job, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. You were sounding a little muffled. You were sounding a little muffled in that last commentary. You were kind of. I hear it's
Static.
okay.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better. That's way better. But you know, that's a different
That's way better.
conversation.
Right. But you know, that's a different conversation.
We have to have a Facebook Live just dealing on
We have to have
relationships.
a Facebook Live just dealing on relationships. Right.
All together. I mean, because the
That's why we
dynamics
need
of
all
that
hands on deck. All together. I mean, because the dynamics of that is cool. Right. So, what's up? You know, so the discussion today as we wrap it up is New Year resolutions. You know, what kind of New Year resolutions you got going on there, man?
Well, this is focused on the community. I think every person
this is focused on the community. I think every person has.
I would say become more active with the community.
I would say become more active with the community.
It doesn't have to be the party because you could go. Well, here in New York, we have we have in the community, which we have just be more involved. And again, so we could
right.
So we could save our community because are no different levels.
Yeah. And religion is one of the key problems in our community right now. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm gonna say it. Religion is one of the key problems in our community. And I'm gonna say one more thing. You Christians, those of you who have become Christians are one of the biggest problems in the Garifuna community right now. Because what do I mean by that? You know, don't hang up and then be like, I don't want to hear that shit. But if you listen and hear me out, You have to understand that it was when the white man came into our communities, they came in there first with missionaries. Okay? When the white man came into St. Vincent, they first came with the missionaries. When they first came into Africa, they first came with the missionaries. When they first came to Brazil, they first came with the missionaries. When they first came to Brazil and Mexico, they first came with the missionaries. When they came to the United States of America, when we first live right now, where we currently live right now, they first came with the missionaries, Pablo. And after the missionaries, they brought in the mercenaries. And if you don't know what a mercenary is, Google up a mercenary, the killers. You understand? They brought in the killers after they brought in the missionaries. So those of y'all who have become Christian, whatnot, I'm here to tell you that our communities were infiltrated because of the same thing that you believe in right now. You are puppets. You are pawns. That's who you are. You're puppets and you're pawns, and you're the ones selling out the people in Belize right now. We have a white man called Scott Stern. Scott Stern, that son of a bitch. He says that Ungulendu is devil worship. Okay? But guess what? Garifuna people in Belize are supporting him and saying, yes, it is devil worship. No, man. You understand? So when you speak of division in our community, there are many divisions. But the number one division, bro, is their religion, man. Is their religion, right? And the white man knows one thing about you and I that we don't know about ourselves. That if we were to honor our religion, we would not be in the condition that we're in. And what I mean by that, if we were to honor Ugulendu, we would not be in the condition that we're in because we wouldn't have fell victim to the missionaries.
Right. See, that's why I emphasize knowledge of self.
Right. See, that's why I emphasize knowledge of
In
self.
Central America, we don't have. I mean, we do have it, but
we don't have. I mean, we do have it, but we don't have it.
Because some persons in
It has to be
Honduras,
right knowledge, man. It can't be misinformed.
they don't. They see this as respond, right? If you have blue eyes, everything is right about that person. Everything right. That goes a lot to like our psychology and how we think about it.
That goes a lot to like our psychology and how we think about it.
What was the name of Lauryn Hill's best album?
Miseducation of the Negro.
Lauryn Hill.
Miseducation of the Negro.
No, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Right, Miseducation of all that. That's what I'm thinking.
She was talking about herself.
Right, Miseducation of all that. I'm thinking about Courtney Winston.
Yeah, she was talking about herself. You feel what I'm saying? And this is applicable to you and I. So in other words, Miseducation of Trevor Palacio. You feel me? Because when I was introduced to the word Latino as a teenager, I started calling myself, I remember writing raps, calling myself Chico Especial, Latino Especial. I have a gang of songs where I call myself Latino Especial, Afro Latino. You understand? But I was miseducated. I didn't know. You feel me? I didn't know. But once I came to know, I'll never call myself Afro anything. I won't ever call myself Latino anything because I know that it is a part of that brainwashing, that miseducation of Lauryn Hill, the miseducation of Pablo Blanco, I can't see the people that are with us right now, but the miseducation of Joseph Flores, Joshua Rivas, the miseducation of Jorge Chavez, Donna Madden, Mabruiga Garifuna, your miseducation, Juan Maximo, you know, our miseducation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that, you know, the way we educated is by the dominant society.
Because the way we educated is by the dominant society.
Yeah. And are they gonna really educate us?
They can't. They can't. We have to. Again, we got to set
they
up
gonna-
our own.
They can't. We have to. Again, we got to set up
our
our
own
own.
school system so we can educate our children.
We got to set up our own school system so we can educate our children.
Exactly.
That's the goal.
So Marcus Garvey. Salute Marcus Garvey.
That's the goal of it.
Salute. Yeah, some Marcus Garvey shit. You know what I mean? Some Marcus Garvey type shit. That's what I'm talking about. You know, create something for your own, for yourself. You know? But that's what we're doing, Pablo. And I'm honored. Yeah, you know, I'm honored to be with you in the struggle, bro. You know what I'm saying? You and I were in that office when Congressman Danny Davis said, because he was impressed about what we shared with him in the 7th district there in Chicago, that he wanted to do that Garifuna resolution. I'm honored to be in that circle of people, and you're in that circle of people. I'm honored to be working with you. But I know, Pablo, that there are other Garifuna people, men and women out there. They're watching. They're listening right now. And Pablo and I are speaking to you right now, and we're speaking. Siati wadiga ni lewo muserube wadiga lida Garifuna duo si huhabu. Most yela huhabu lida lewo muserube wadiga. What we're trying to do, Pablo and I are speaking to you right now. We can't do it without you. We can't do it without you. The persons that are watching and listening right now, no lo podemos hacer sin ustedes. Pablo es una persona, yo soy otra persona. Pero la fe mueve las montañas, pero la unión es lo que hace la fuerza, Pablo.
Sí, eso es lo que tenemos que entender, que el individualismo
Sí, eso es lo que tenemos que entender, que el individualismo no trae.
Nosotros movemos más rápido como un...
It doesn't work.
Nosotros movemos más rápido como una colectiva.
Yeah, porque somos uno, man. Mabruiga. You know what I mean? Mabruiga.
Yeah. We got to drill that into people's mind.
We got to drill that into people's mind.
By example. That's the example, though. I think the best way to drill something into someone's mind, that includes your son or my son, is our example, not what we say. You can repeat it again and again and again and again, but if your actions contradict what you say, you can repeat it all you want to. Action is the best exemplar that we could actually have out there, bro.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I try to practice what I
So
yeah, you're right. I mean, I try to practice what I preach.
Right.
And you know, we have to take down that as men and women.
And you know, we have to take down that as men and women. We have to.
Yeah, there's an echo. I'm not sure where that's coming from.
Yeah, there's an echo. I'm not sure where that's coming from.
It might be my phone because it's actually dying, man. And we've been on here about a good hour though.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna wrap it up.
As men and women, we have responsibilities.
Right. We do.
I mean, we're
individuals.
We're not, man.
As part of our
society.
Right. Yes, it does.
That's why we have to be more communication. Need to be in sync with each other. Everybody from
Right. We're gonna meet with them. Yeah. And speaking of that, we want to meet with all the patronatos. So if you are from a Garifuna community, can you do us a favor? Please name your community in this conversation and name the patronato if you're from Honduras. All right? If you're from Honduras, name your community and name the patronato, please. And if they're on Facebook, we want to be able to contact them as well. We're looking to meet with the patronatos in August of 2019, this year. We're trying to meet with all 46. Not every community has a patronato, but we're going to make sure that every community does. We're going to identify a leader in each one, and we're meeting with them in with Omar Suazo in August of 2019.
So that's going to be a very important conversation on so many different levels. Because we already know what the issue was.
Right.
This is a dialogue on how to resolve it.
Right. We need that. We need that.
So that's a conversation. I'm very. I'm looking forward to that conversation with them.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good one, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good one.
With Baba Clay. I mean,
it's gonna
Baba
be a good
Clay. I'm gonna be looking forward to.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it this time. I'm gonna be looking forward to.
But yeah,
it's gonna be, dude. It's gonna be historic.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Then we're inviting Belize to be there. Yeah, we're inviting all the countries to be there, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's about the patronatos in Honduras, but any leader that wants to come is invited to come, because we're coming to your country too. We're coming to your country. We're going to every country. We're visiting every city. We're going to Miami. We're going to Houston. We're going to New Orleans. We're going to every city, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to Triunfo de la Cruz. We're going to Hopkins. We're going to Greg's in St. Vincent. We're going to Livingston in Guatemala. We're going. We're coming.
Okay.
So I want to thank you for this live show tonight, man. It was full of information, and I want to thank those people that were in tune tonight and stuck with us all the way through. You are the life of this. You are the life of this. Trevor Palacio.
Yes, and I want persons to continue sharing. And I'm gonna, after we get off, I'll try to reply information. The conversation going.
Right.
I'm not sure about this Sunday. Probably next Sunday. Availability. Well, other than that, Mabruiga Garinagu.
All right, brother Pablo. Mabruiga Garinagu, Trevor Palacio, Yagi, California. Mabruiga Garinagu.
All right, so that wraps up the talk. Please, let's continue the conversation. And buiti gunyo hong so umadalo.